Hello and welcome to, I was about to say back then, but this is new, Artemis rocket build by Minecraft. Alright, we're in the center of everything as always. Hello. Welcome to launch control. This is where we make sure, I think this is about rockets, my guess. Our rockets take off safely. We're working on a really exciting project called the Artemis program, and we want you to be part of it. We've made some special classes just for you that will teach you everything you need to know about building rockets and the Artemis program. And we have a special mission for you to practice your skills. This will get you ready for when we start sending cargo and even people to the moon. The first mission you'll be working on is launching a satellite into space. This satellite will help us communicate with our spacecraft when we fly to the moon. It's an important step in our mission, and you'll be playing a big role in making it happen. Oh god, you've got a lot to say. Alright, if you're ready to get started with the lessons, head down the hallway and through the first door. This is where the classroom is. Ooh, once you're there, just talk to the teacher and then you'll get started on the learning about why we're going to the moon. The moon? The moon. Alright, so what are we looking at? This, that, and that. Alright. So who are all these people? Can I even say hello? Hello? I'm a component engineer. I work on the engines that power the SLS rocket. Oh wow, there's a lot of people then. Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. Right, important people. Any important people here? Oh, we got loads of important people over here. I'm the launch director. I oversee the countdown and liftoff at NASA's space. So, oh, you're the cool person. You're chief cool person then. Nice. I'm part of the Earth support crew. It's my job to load the liquid propellant into the rockets. That means liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen. Okay. You're not as cool as the first person. Hi. As the safety officer, it's my job to make sure the Orion space capsule, space launch system, and other seats meet the requirements of keeping astronauts safe as they travel, live, and work in space. Alright, bit boring. And then we've got the cryogenic engineer technician. Hi, I'm a cryogenic engineering technician at NASA. It's my job to make sure that the fuel for the rocket is safe for launch. Our team sometimes has to fix potentially dangerous leaks. Oh no. Alright, anyway, any other important people? Oh, we've got you up there. Can I say hello to you? Alright, you're just staying up there then. Alright then. I guess let's just see what's... Oh, mysterious door. I'm guessing we're going through here. Right. Um. Oh, wow. Busy class. Busy forehead. Alright. Um. Wow. Can I just sit like really far? Can you imagine just sitting this far away? Hello? Alright. Anyway then, what do you have to say then? Let's have a little read. Welcome to the Artemis rocket build. Oh, nice animation. Build world. I'm here to tell you about the Artemis missions. NASA's going to land the first woman and person of color on the moon. As part of these missions, they will use new technologies to explore more of the moon than ever before. NASA will also work with other companies and countries to set up the permanent base on the moon. What we learn from our time on the moon will help us to send astronauts to Mars for the first time. Why are we sending people to the moon? Why is NASA sending people there again? Okay, hang on, let me just, there we go. I think that's better. Just looking at your forehead. Alright. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, gosh. NASA is using what we've learned from exploring space for more than 50 years to explore the moon of Artemis. NASA will build a long-term presence of the moon and an outpost in orbit around the moon called Gateway. The Artemis missions will help create new jobs and industries on the moon and help people learn new skills. We will explore more of the moon than ever before. He said moon well, way too many times. With the help of other companies and countries, we'll also inspire people to learn more about space with the Artemis generation. Great lesson. Can I can I build a rocket now? Thank you for telling me like 4 facts, and now I'm in charge of the NASA budget. All right. Busy class. Busy class again. God, it's very quiet. Maybe I think I probably am in charge of the NASA budget, seeing how quiet these classrooms are. All right. How does a rocket work? What was lesson one? Just realised. So flashback. What the hell was lesson one? Introduction to Artemis. Okay. Right. Who's ready for more reading? Yay. Hello. But we start talking about building our own rocket. Let's talk about the basics. Oof, it's just reading. Engineers use special laws called Newton's laws to understand how forces work and make sure rockets fly properly. These laws were first written down by a scientist named Sir Isaac Newton a long time ago, but they're still very important for rockets engineers today. Do you want to know more about Newton's laws and how they help us build rockets? First law. Oh, you got a little sign. That's cute. Objects like to stay still or keep moving unless something else makes them change. E.g., if our rocket is standing still and if we don't push it, it will stay still. But if we give it a push, it will keep moving until something else makes it stop. It's called Newton's first law of motion. It's important for us to understand this when we're building rockets. So contingency, I think. Alright, oh, sign number 2. Did you know that how fast an object moves or changes direction depends on how heavy it is and how hard it is pushed? Newton's second law of motion. If we want to make a rocket go faster, we can either make it lighter or push it harder. Have you ever heard the saying, every action has an equal and opposite reaction? Well, sorry for some really depressed today. It's just all the reading. Alright, well, this is a scientific idea called Newton's third law of motion. What was it again? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, it means that when something pushes or pulls on something else, the second thing pushes or pulls just as hard. This is how we can make things move, like rockets. When the rocket's Earth's engines push down on the Earth pushes it off on the rocket, makes it lift off. Thank you. Oh, more reading. When we're building and flying rockets, it's important to think about the different forces that will be pushing on it. These forces can push or pull the rocket in different directions, and some forces are stronger than others. For example, the force of gravity is always pulling the rocket down towards the ground, and the rocket's engines create a force called thrust that can push the rocket up to the sky. To make sure our rocket flies the way we want it to, I'm not processing any of this, by the way. It's just not, I'm hearing just rocket engine sky, and it's just deflected off into like the abyss, into space. To make sure our rocket flies the way we want it to, we need to think about how these forces will affect it. Hang on, oh my gosh. It's so much reading. Alright, weight is the force that the Earth's gravity creates on the object. Gravity is what makes things fall to the ground. Got that bit. The Earth is big and heavy, so it's a lot of gravity. That's why everything weighs something here on Earth. But did you know that weight can be different on different planets? That's because each planet's a different amount of mass, which is how heavy it is. Okay, that's weight. Oh gosh. You've got too many signs. Thrust is the force that makes a rocket move. It's created by the rocket's engines and pushes the rocket in a certain direction. Have you ever blown up a balloon and let it go? The air rushing out of the balloon creates a force that pushes the balloon in the opposite direction. It's kind of like that with a rocket. When the rocket's engines burn fuel, it creates a force that pushes the rocket forward. This force is called thrust. We want to build a rocket that can fly all the way to the moon. The moon is really far away. So we need to make sure our rocket goes fast enough to get there. We just need to make sure we have enough fuel to burn to power the rocket. There we go. Oh my god. After we learn more about how fast we need to go, how much fuel we need, we can start building our rocket to fly to the moon. Velocity. This means the speed of something in a certain direction. Delta V. dV. This is a short way to refer to the chance in velocity. Change. Sorry, I've been reading for too long. I've been reading for like 10 minutes straight. We'll be starting... Well, okay. 8 minutes and 11 seconds, and not even that. We'll be starting from 0 and accelerating to 6 meters per second? Minutes per second. No. Miles per second. Miles per second. 9.7 kilometers seconds. Going that fast, you could go from New York to San Francisco in just 8 minutes. We'll be burning our rocket fuel to achieve our Delta 5V goal. You've completed my lesson. Go for the door and learn rocket propulsion methods and fuel. Oh my gosh. You are very boring. Right, moving on. And I see another person later on as well. Oh gosh. You're gonna be even more boring than the first person. At least the first person was the last person. At least the first person was nice, short and snappy. Right then. Let's finish this off. We now know about we don't because I've not processed that. We now know about forces on our rocket, velocity and delta V. We have a lot of stuff to bring with us, so our rocket is going to be pretty heavy. Remember, not only do we need to bring our spaceship, astronauts, and enough fuel to launch our rocket, we also have to bring enough fuel to get back. A rocket with more mass will speed up more slowly, so we're going to need a lot of fuel. Humans have been experimenting with rockets for thousands of years. Early propulsion engines were developed in Greece around 400 BC. The first true rockets were created in China about 800 years ago. Over the years, rockets have taken on many shapes. The fuel burnt in these rockets can be solid, liquid or solid. Liquid or solid. On Earth, why does everyone have signs? On Earth, many cars on the road are powered by engines that convert liquid fuel into energy to produce motion. You may be familiar with some forms of liquid fuel, such as petrol, kerosene, diesel, and alcohol. Our rocket will be partially powered by liquid nitrogen. With solid fuel, you don't have to fill up the tank right before launch. A solid rocket can sit for years before firing. The solid rocket fuel used in the Artemis rocket is called P-ban. Oh, big words. Polybutadiene acrylonitrile. Acrylon. Acrylonitrile. Don't worry, we won't make you say that 3 times fast. Polybutadiene. Oh, yeah, no, thank you. I've done too much reading. If that was the first thing I read, would have been alright. Let's take a closer look at the parts of the Artemis Space Launch Rocket System, SLS rocket. Oh, God. Starting with the sides, we have the solid rocket boosters. The SLS has 2 solid rocket boosters that burn approximately 6 tons of solid fuel each second to help lift the enormous rocket off the launch pad and send it soaring into space. Their job is finished in just 2 minutes. That looks like a pencil. Inside the large central station called the core stage are 2 liquid propellant tanks holding liquid hydrogen fuel and liquid oxygen. At the base are 4 large RS-25 rocket engines. These engines, together with the boosters, accelerate the rocket to more than 17,000 miles per hour, or meters per hour, or 27,359 kp. I've never heard that one before. Kilometers per hour? Kilometers per hour. European. During the first 8 minutes of flight. The top of the rocket is where the Orion spacecraft is located. The long nose of the rocket contains the launch abort system that can activate at a moment's notice to pull the Orion crew to safety in emergency during launch. The rocket is huge. You'll see yourself in a few minutes. Not all of it will make it to the moon. Once the core stage propellant is spent, the empty tanks are just unnecessary weight, so they drop off to make the rocket lighter. This is called staging. Okay, I'm going to remember that now. That's the one thing I've learned. Once launched, the solid boosters do their job in about 2 minutes, then fall away splashing into the Atlantic Ocean. The core stage of the rocket using liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen fuel separates about 6 minutes later, splashing into the Pacific Ocean. At this point, all that's left is the upper stage of the rocket called the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. Someone was talking about that earlier, I remember that. And the Orion spacecraft, about 50 minutes into flight, the ICPS fires briefly to raise Orion's orbit. It fires again about 30 minutes later to push Orion out of Earth's orbit on the trajectory towards the moon, and separates from Orion. About 2 hours into the flight, the Orion spacecraft separates and continues its journey to the moon. You've completed my lesson. Go for the door and the next Artemis missions. Right, I'm reading out. This seems to be like the last one. I'm gonna leave it there then. Oh my gosh. I think people who love rockets are gonna have a field day with this, but I'm not really a science kind of guy. And that was a lot of reading. And I'm still been recording all these videos straight up. So that was woof, woof, woof. That's all I got from that, really. But what was it called? I've forgotten it already. When a rocket breaks up from another rocket, when they break up and they're orbiting, rationing, is that what it's called? I'm not too sure, but there we go then. There is episode 1 done. Just reading. I'm reading out. Read out. What's the word? I've read too much. That's the sentence. So anyway then, we'll do episode 2 of course again. Back to back, so that means I would have continued reading straight on. So anyway then, hope you enjoyed this episode today then. More reading imminent is what I'm going to say. Be sure to like and subscribe to me and these cool scientists. We'll see you all next time then. See ya!